All right, good morning, Year 5. Today we're going to be looking at practicing some of our written methods for division, and we're going to be looking at short division today. We've done this before, so it is revision, but it's always really good to keep practicing and making sure that we're really confident at using this method. It's going to be coming in very, very useful for you next year when you go up to Year 6. All right, so first thing to think about is making sure that you set your work out really, really neatly. And we always do that when we're using our written methods. And it's going to be really important when you're using this method as well. So you can see there I've got my bus stop. And underneath the bus stop, if you like, I've got my dividend, which is 675. And you can see there that I've left a decent amount of space in between each one of those numbers. And I'd like you to practice doing that today. It'd be a good habit for you to get into. And we're going to divide 675 by 5. The number that you divide by is known as the divisor. Okay, so let's start off by finding out how many times will 5 go into 6. Okay, and we know that 1 times 5 equals 5. So it goes in once, and we have 1 left over. Okay, so we're going to put that in the very next number that we see. And one of the things that some of you in my class were getting confused with was, where do I actually need to put my answer? Well, you can see we're putting the answer on top of the bus stop. So please remember to do that when you're working through your examples today. All right, so now we're looking at how many times will 5 go into 17. And we know that 3 times 5 equals 15. All right, so there's 3 lots of 5 in 17 with 2 left over. Okay, so now the last part of this particular example that we've got to look at is how many times will 5 go into 25. In all 5 times tables, we should be really confident with those. We know that it goes in 5 times. 5 times 5 equals 25. All right. There's no remainders, so that question is now complete. Okay, so we're going to take a look at another example now. This one has a remainder, so we'll just see what that looks like, and I'll try and explain my thinking as I go through here. Okay, so we've got 137, and we're going to divide that number by 5. All right, so again, we're going to start on the left-hand side there. So we're going to see how many times does 5 go into 1. Obviously, we know that there are no 5s in 1. So we then need to look at how many 5s will go into 13. All right, and we know that that is 2. All right, 2 times 5 is 10. All right, and we then need to think about, well, what is left over, and the difference between 10 and 13 is, of course, 3. So we're going to have to now think about dividing 37 by 5. So again, if you know your 5 times tables, all right, then this is going to be hopefully a really quick process for you. All right, and we know that there are, oops, get my pen going, 7. All right, okay, 5 times 7 equals 35. And at the beginning I said there would be a remainder. If we think about the difference between 35 and 37, then our remainder is 2. You just count on from 35 up to 37. Okay, there we go. So don't forget to put your R to indicate that you are including a remainder in your calculation. Okay,